Okay, on Tuesday, I took a look at, one site, Morningstar, which I've suggested is a good site, but then I also mentioned FINRA, and I didn't show you that, and I wanted to do that today quickly. That should be really helpful for Project 2 for getting in, finding some of the basic information that you're going to need. And I can't emphasize enough, though, that you're going to end up looking at annual reports. That's ultimately, when you do your bibliography for your final paper, I want to see at least one, but probably two or three annual reports listed in there. And they're all available online. They're easy to find. I shouldn't say easy, but not very difficult anyhow to find. So I posted, oops, I better turn my screen on, sorry. I posted under Project 2 a link. When I went back after class and I went to find the FINRA site myself, they've made the site, I don't know what you want to, busier than it used to be, and so it was a little more difficult than it used to be to find the actual market data place that seems to be very helpful in finding the basic information that you're going to need. So as soon as this gets up, I'll kind of show you. Let me flip the light off too. So if you go to content and you go to Project 2, scroll on down, and you get down here under materials. Hopefully this works. I just put it in this morning and I didn't get a chance to check it. So the FINRA market data link, open it up and it takes you to this screen here. My doggone. Okay, and then if you look over here on the left hand side where it says equities and options, that's where you're going to want to go. And you click on that and it brings you here. It kind of tells you what's going on a little bit right now. Have any of you guys picked your company yet? What'd you pick, Riley? Walmart. Okay. So if I come here, do you know what the ticker symbol is? That's right. I come here, I click in the ticker symbol, and you can look it up by the name too, maybe. Okay, but ticker symbol is going to get you right there, and so it's kind of nice. So you click on you type in WMT, you click on it. It gives me a lot of this just nice basic information here. A lot of this doesn't make sense to you now, and that's okay. And a lot of it I won't even go through, okay, because a lot of it, isn't that meaningful. It won't be that meaningful for what we're going to do. A lot of this has to do with, what's going on in the marketplace, deals with the price and those types of things, as opposed to the underlying financial information, which is what we're interested in for our final, okay? We're not really interested in the price. Again, I can't emphasize that enough. We're not interested in a lot of those things, other than perhaps with your final recommendation, so the final paragraph that you write for your paper maybe, okay? But if you click up here then, and you click on financials, really a nice place to start. It gives you a look at 3 years worth of financials, okay? You can even break it down by quarters, okay, and do some comparisons, okay? This is the basic financials, okay? This is enough to give you a good start and get you to start looking at some things. Geez, what's the first thing that I noticed for Walmart? Well, their sales are up from $500 billion 3 years ago to $524 billion. That's not a bad little increase, 5%, right, over that period of 3 years. Not too bad at all. Operating income, it didn't really increase that much. So their margins got beat up a little bit, okay, even though their net income, however, went way up. So that means something's funky there. They made some money someplace else, okay? If their operating income is about the same as it was 3 years ago, but their net income's up $5 billion, which is impressive, and their earnings per share are way up, they made some money someplace else, and it doesn't tell you that in this financial. Again, you'd have to go look at the annual report probably to figure out why they made so much more net income, okay? They might have sold off some assets. They might have had some other income, investment income. They might have had some different things like that that may have happened that caused them to make that much more money. So that's kind of an interesting thing. Those are the kinds of things that I want you to start kind of looking for. Just going, that's a little bit different. Let's try to figure out what's going on there, because those are the things that I want to see in your report, right? This shows that you've done an analysis. This shows you, it gives you the income statement. It also gives you the balance sheet. This one goes back 5 years. Of course, it has to go the other direction, right? But it tells you where they're at. You know, total current assets haven't changed a lot. That's not really surprising, okay? Total non-current assets, they've gone up substantially. Okay, maybe they've built some new stores around the world. Maybe they've invested a bunch in some of their infrastructure that they need for online, et cetera, et cetera. So anyhow, what's cool about this too is you can toggle between dollars and percentages. It gives you, for certain things, it gives you a really nice look. There's certain things where percentages are going to be really meaningful, okay? Walmart's a pretty steady company. They've been pretty darn steady through the years, which is good. Sometimes that makes it a little bit more difficult to do some analysis just because they don't have a whole lot of big ups and downs and things that you can kind of report on. But it's a good company that's done really well, okay? And these percentages are really nice. They give you a look at different things, okay? Again, they're pretty solid. But total non-current liabilities, ooh, they've gone up quite a bit though, really, right? From 27 up to 35, okay? Different things like that, and then you're going to look at it and you're going to say, well, why, how? Total stockholders' equity has actually decreased as a percentage of total assets. Well, that's kind of interesting. Maybe they've bought back some stock. Okay, that's something that we'll start looking for, okay? And those are things we'll look at as the rest of the semester goes on. So kind of just wanting the cash flow, something you ought to glance at too. Ratios are kind of cool. Take a look at those. I don't want to get too in-depth now because I'll do that in the coming weeks. We'll talk about a lot of these things individually. We'll take a look at some of the other things that are going on with the company, okay? But a lot of information, okay, is available right here that gets you a good start and gets you asking some questions about your company that the answers will probably come from the annual report, okay? So start looking at this, start paying attention to this, and it's going to help you a whole lot, okay? Also on the project too, on the content, let me scroll down, click on that. You know, I'll start changing these dates too here. We'll get these, the ticker symbols should be due the next week, probably early next week. I want to get you guys going on that. This assignment's going to be broke down into components. Okay, it was something that they suggested, and so instead of just waiting and then you're writing your final paper at the end, okay, I want to make sure you're making some progress. So that's kind of why we're going to have some of these small little assignments first. You find the ticker symbol. You're going to find some financial information, which means you're going to look up some stuff about the company. You're going to submit that to me. It's going to tell me some basic things about the company. I think earnings per share, a couple other things that we need. Okay, you're going to prepare an outline. Okay, and this is going to be getting towards the end of the semester. You'll prepare an outline. You're going to write your intro and conclusion and submit that. Okay, and all these are worth some points. So don't neglect these, okay? Because if you want a good score for the overall project, do all these, okay? You can do all these, and even if you don't write the very best final paper, you know, you still might get an okay score out of it, right? Okay, but these I want to make sure that you're on track. I also want to make sure that you're not procrastinating till the end of the semester like I always did when I was in college. Okay, try to keep you on track and keep you moving ahead and keep you following this stuff. Start to follow your company. You know, look at it. Go to that FINRA site every day and kind of see what's going on with the price maybe a little bit and see if there's any news. I'm not sure if the FINRA site, some of the other sites will give you, Yahoo, Google, a few of those sites will give you news also when you look at the quote. The quote's not nearly as good or as broad as what they give you here in FINRA, but they'll give you news too, and news is important. You know, news about your company and what's going on is really important. So, okay. That's really all. You come down here, there's videos about how to do this stuff too, okay? and I'll talk about it some, but these videos, if you guys want to get a little head start, they're ones that I've recorded in the past, so they may have some weird dates and whatnot, and your references to dates, but you can go ahead and do it. The rubric is what I'll use to grade your final. Okay, so you may want to take a look at that. That'll give you an idea of what the emphasis is going to be on here. Okay, what I'm really looking for in that final paper. So, okay, I'll quit, let you guys go to work on your assignments and hopefully on this project stuff as well. If you haven't finished project 1, please get that done and in. I know it's not due till this Sunday, but the sooner the better.